Okay, to create the gingerbread house project, we're going to be using Revit, and honestly, we could probably use other softwares, but I am going to use a combination of Revit and AutoCAD. We could probably have honestly used Inventor, but I think it's just going to be easier to do it this way. So I'm going to go create a new project. As always, you go create an architectural project. Now, as far as the gingerbread house, according to Culinary Arts, the guidelines they want us to do is no bigger, and it's just because of the fact that they only have a certain amount of dough to do the gingerbread house. So we're limited to a 12 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch length, width, and height house. So we need to do some adjustments to Revit because Revit is not going to be is meant for a bigger, huge home. So everything we're going to be doing right now is actually going to look a lot smaller. So I guess the first thing we need to do is we actually need to create some walls. And we can't do these walls because again, these are just 8-inch thick walls, which really doesn't make sense with our house because our gingerbread house is a tiny 12 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch tall. So we do need to make some walls, but the thing is, it needs to be way thinner than 8 inches. So we can just leave a generic 8 inch. We're going to make a duplicate and we'll just call it I guess we can go with a gingerbread wall. And then we'll just call it gingerbread wall. And I think we'll just go with a 1/4 inch thickness. So to that gingerbread wall, I'm going to change the structure and I'm going to make it a 1/4 inch thickness. 1/4 inch. Okay. And hit OK. All right. So again, we're limited to 12 by 12, but it doesn't mean that we have to stay 12 by 12. If we make it a little bit narrower, we can make it wider, but it generally has to stay within that space. Okay. And I guess to explain what I mean is as far as that space, let me think how I'm going to explain this. Let's say we're limited. Well, they're telling us that we're limited to 12 inches by 12 inches. So let's say we have a 12 inch by 12 inch space. So it doesn't mean that the house has to be a cube. What it means is that we need to kind of stay within that envelope, I guess. Meaning, if you want to make it wider, we can. You can make the house wider, but because of the fact that we're limited to this type of area, that we'd have to just make it narrower. So it's almost like this space here that we're not using in the 12 by 12, we can add it here so that it's more rectangular. So that's really up to you and your culinary arts student client that you guys are going to decide on how we're going to do that. So I guess with that being said, I'm just going to draw I guess I'll go with, as a matter of fact, that's the email. Draw a line and I'm going to go with 10 inches. Right now, this is in feet because that's what we're used to drawing. So I'm going to go and zoom in so that it's 10 inches. Um, and then don't forget you can type in the 10 inches will be 0 space 10. And then let's say we're going to go maybe 14 inches maybe. So 0 space 14. And then up here and then here. So don't forget that we are drawing something really, really small. And if you zoom out, in comparison to what we've been drawing, designing up to now, it's going to look like a tiny, tiny little box. Because it's a gingerbread house. Once again, it's only 12 by 12 by 12 or within that envelope. So right now, if I go to 3D, go to my default 3D view, you'll notice it's going to be really tall because it's used for it to be a 10-foot tall ceiling for a big, huge house. But that's not the case here with us. Once again, we are limited to 12 inches. So we'll just have to change the level. And we can change the level itself to be 12 inches. Go bring it down to that one. And then it's going to start making and then these walls, I forgot to mention that once I do these walls, they need to be, the top constraint shouldn't be unconnected, should be connected to level 1. And then don't forget that level 1, okay, what's going on here? The top of the wall is lower than the base of the wall. Okay, what did I do wrong? Oh, I did something wrong with my levels. So level 2, okay, hold on. Sorry. I need to fix this. Level 2 is level 1 should be at 12 inches. What did I do? So hopefully you won't have this issue. Okay, I'm gonna change level one again, and I'm just gonna change that to 5 feet for now. Okay, because I messed up. Level level two will be 1 foot, and then level one would be zero. There we go. So zero and then one. There we go. All right, sorry about that. And then these walls are going to be changed to the top constraint to be up to level two. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to end up with a tiny little gingerbread house like this. Okay. So then those are the four walls. We're going to be adding some other things to it, but for now, I guess we can go ahead and start adding a roof. Roof by footprint, pretty much how we're used to. I usually like to use the level one and go in there and create a roof under architecture. Create a roof. And then as far as the roof, we have a basic generic 12-inch roof, which we don't want. We're going to go and edit type. We're going to make a duplicate. We'll call it gingerbread roof. And then same thing. It'll be a quarter inch thickness. To a gingerbread roof, we're going to change the structure for it to be a 1/4 inch of thickness. Hit OK. Hit OK. And then this is where you can be a little bit creative and start designing it. If you want to put an overhang, let's say it's 2 inches of an overhang. And then we start placing our roof. Hit check. And there's our roof of our small little gingerbread home. Okay. If it's too tall, you might have to go and adjust the levels. You can go back to the east level and west level. If it's too tall, and the text, remember that it has to do with the scales. Now, I'll tell you right now, the scales we're going to be using needs to be way smaller, like maybe a 3 inch by 3 inches equals 1 foot scale. Because once again, everything is just way smaller. Okay, so if you notice, this is kind of big or tall. Honestly, to me, it looks a little weird, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. It's part of your design. You can maybe make it instead of 12 inches, maybe 8 inches or something in height. Um, it just really has to do with how you want that design to look. Don't forget that the roof pitch, also the roof design, you can decide, do you want to leave it hipped? You can edit the footprint. You can make it gabled if you want to, by unchecking the define slopes. We'll have to take these walls and attach them to the roof. And then let me go ahead and attach this one here also. Attach. And then to make openings, unfortunately, we can't really do this whole door and window because remember, these doors and windows are way bigger than the house itself because the door is 3 feet wide type of thing, and the house itself is only 12 inches. So we really can't use these families. So to do that, really what we have to do is just edit the profile and just make openings. Like in here, like let's say I wanted to make a window, I'd have to select it, edit profile, and then on this profile, and then as far as the line thicknesses, you can take off the line thickness TL, and then you can go in there and draw in what you would want to be the door, for example. So I can go in here and draw myself a door. I can draw a line from here up this way, whatever you think would be a nice looking door down here, but it does need to be a loop. Like right now, it won't let us do it. Okay, because we have to trim that part out. So then I'm gonna have to go here and split element, and then trim this line with this line and this line with this line. It's just kind of like a continuous shape. Check, and then that's how we end up with our door. Okay, I can go over here and make this shaded so you can see the gingerbread house a little bit better. And then let's say I wanted to add a window over here. I'm going to go over here and edit the profile. And then I can add a little rectangle over here, or two maybe. Check. And then edit the profile again. I can add another rectangle if I wanted to. Up to here maybe like that, and hit check. and then make windows and doors and openings like that. And then the rest is going to be your design. And as far as the design, that's really all you would need to make the openings. You can adjust the roof a little bit. You can make it wider. You can make it taller. It's really your limits or your design. Don't forget you can adjust the roof pitch also if you wanted to. Oh, we just need to make sure we attach these walls also, by the way. Select, attach, roof. And then you can maybe make a like an A-frame type of thing. But remember that we don't want to get too far away from the 12 inches, so we don't want to do anything too crazy. If we want to bring in the sides of this one and make it like an A-frame, um, we could probably, let me see, how could we do that? Probably go to the east elevation and then just make it a smaller wall on the sides. So then your this could be like maybe a 4 inch and joint elements. I didn't like the roof anymore, or I'm not sure what happened, but nonetheless. Okay, I guess the walls. For some reason, you just didn't like the walls, so we'll have to draw in those walls. Oh, it's the opening of the. So yeah, you can see how this is gonna get a little interesting, but that's what you need to figure out. Okay, so it's just a matter of redoing the walls or figuring all these things out. I think you've learned enough on how to work with these things. The next thing I'm gonna do, let me I'm going to adjust this and bring it down a little bit for me because to show you how to then develop this into the plot files, because we're going to have to plot these on paper so that the culinary arts can use this as a pattern. We're going to make this on paper as a pattern, and then they're going to cut it out and create and model or make their gingerbread home. Okay, so that's pretty simple as far as what we need to do in here. Okay.